Srimad Bhagwad Gita, chapter 4, Sloka 1, Usha Bhuaji. We will do chanting. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
भगवानुवाच
Imam
इमं
Vivasvate
विवस्वते
Yogam
योगं
Proktavana
प्रोक्तवान्
Hamavyayam
हमं व्यव्यं
Vivasvana
विवस्वान्
Manave Praha
मनवे प्राह
Manurikshvak
मनुरिक्ष्वाक
Ve Bravit.
वे ब्रवीत्
Shloka 2. Evam
एवं
Parama
परम
Raprapta
प्राप्त
Mimam
मिमं
Rajarshyo
राजस्यो
Viduhu
विदुः
Sakale Neha
सकाले नेह
Mahata
महता
Yogo Nashtaha
योगो नष्टः
Parantapa.
परन्तप
Thank you. Now we will do the meaning part. Chapter 4. This chapter is called Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, or the yoga of knowledge and the disciplines of action. Now this chapter starts with Sri Bhagwan Uvacha. Lord Shri Krishna ji has said, Imam, this, Vivasvate, to the sun god, Yogam, the science of yoga, Proktavan, thought, Aham, I, Avyayam, eternal, Vivasvan, sun god, Manave, to Manu, the origin of humankind, Paraha, told, Manu, Ikshvaku, the first king of the solar dynasty, Abravit, told. So here Shri Krishna ji has said, O Arjun, I taught this eternal science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan, who then passed it on to the Manu, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was the first king of the solar dynasty. So here sun god name is Vivasvan, Manu is the first human being, and Ikshvaku is the first king of solar dynasty or Surya Vansham. So Shri Krishna ji is saying that Arjun is not the first to hear Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It was the first was Lord Sun, and his name is Vivasvan. Then Lord Sun has passed it to Manu, and Manu has passed it to the first king of solar dynasty Ikshvaku. So Vivasvan means the sun. The name Vivasvan is derived from the Sanskrit root Vasa, meaning one who lives very well, or also one who illumines everyone. And the sun actually illumines everyone, and in return, Lord Sun doesn't want anything. The sun can be considered the first student of Karma Yoga. Not only does he selflessly provide light to the world, he also never gets tired doing so. So he is the first student of Sri Krishna ji, and he is following all the path that he is selflessly doing his primary duty, and he is not never tired of it. The sun then gave this knowledge to Manu. Manu is the original ancestors and is considered to be the first human being from whom all the humans originated, like Adam in the Bible. Hence humans are called Manushya. Then Manu then gave this knowledge to the king Ikshvaku, who was the first king of solar dynasty or Surya Vansh. So this is being told here. So we get the awareness that Bhagavad Gita was not being listened by Arjun first. It was the sun god Vivasvan. So it was years back. that Shri Krishna ji has given this knowledge to the sun god Vivaswan. Okay, now Ushabaji, please explain.
Here, Krishna is saying that he has explained to this Bhagavad Gita to Vivaswan, who is the son, Lord's son, and Vivaswan, after that Vivaswan, he told to Manu, who is the first human beings in this world, and then Manu is told to Ikshvaku, who is the dynasty of king of dynasty of sun. So Arjuna is not the first person, but the Vivaswan, who is the Lord's son, is the first person, and he is doing his primary duty selflessly. He never want back from anything to from anyone. He just doing his primary duty every day.
Thank you, Buaji. Thank you so much. Rupashri ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. In the shloka, Lord Shri Krishna is telling that Arjuna is not the first person who is uh, listened to the Bhagavad Gita. It is first told to the sun god, who is referred to as Vivaswan, and from then the sun god has told the same knowledge to Manu, who is the first human being on this earth. So only we all are called as Manushya. And from Manu, it is again the same message is given to the first king of the solar dynasty, who is Ikshvaku. And there is so much to learn from the sun god that the sun is like the illuminating source and giving us energy, and is following Karma Yoga, who is like just doing the primary duty. So, Lord Sun God is referred to as Vivaswan here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
so
you, ma'am.
much. Nalli ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So here we understand that Bhagavad Gita is not spoken just only to Arjuna for the first time, but previously it is already spoken to Vivaswan, who is the sun god, and so it is not the first time Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Previously also there are to other people Bhagavad Gita is spoken.
Thank you so much. Siddhant, Shri Krishna.
Shri Krishna, ma'am, I'll explain. Uh, so here, Lord Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna that he's not the Arjuna himself is not the first person to be exposed to the Bhagavad Gita. That this God, the Sun God Vivaswan, has also heard of it and has passed it down to the first man, the first person on the world. So Manushya derives from Manu, and then it's passed down to the first king of the Solar dynasty, I think, which is Ikshvaku. So yeah, so here Lord Sri Krishna is telling that he's not the Arjuna is not the first person to listen to the Bhagavad Gita, and that three other people before him have heard of it. So it's the sun god Vivaswan, and then the first person on earth, Manu, I think, yeah, and then the first king of the Solar dynasty, which is Ikshvaku.
Thank you so much. Now we'll move to Sloka 2. Evam thus, parampara in a continuous tradition, paraptam received, imam this science, Rajarishabh the saintly or wise kings, with who understood Saha that Kalena with the long passage of time, Iha in this world, Mahata great, Yoga, the science of yoga, Nashta, lost. Parantapa is another name of Arjun, the meaning the subduer of foes or one who is victorious over his enemies. So Sri Krishna ji continues that, O subduer of enemies, that is Parantapa, the wise kings thus received this science of yoga in a continuous tradition, but with the long passage of time it was lost. Lord Sri Krishna says that the science of Bhagavad Gita has been passed through many generations but has been lost with the time. Why does this happen? Why it got lost when it was being heard and it was being passed by generations? Because when we hear something from our teacher and need to explain the same thing to our friend who might have been absent, we would be unable to teach exactly same to same as the teacher did to us. We will definitely miss something or add something which might be right or wrong. So, in those times, it was not written. Srimad Bhagavad Gita was not written. It was being passed orally by generations and generations. So, hence, the science of Gita has been passing through generations, but it was getting lesser in meaning due to the ineffective teaching, and thus Lord Shri Krishna ji has come in life to teach this once again to humankind in full meaning during the Mahabharat war. So, the reason why it was being lost, because first it was being told orally and it was not in written. So while when we tell orally, we missed out so many things. So the main essence was getting lost and the add-ons were there. So Sri Krishna ji has felt that the actual teaching of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is not there. It's completely lost. So that is the reason he has took birth and he has told again Srimad Bhagavad Gita to Arjun so that it can be passed to the humankind, and it was written as well. So later Ved Vyasji has written Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So this is what Lord Sri Krishna ji is telling to Arjun, that why he is telling him again, and why the no when it was being told before to Lord Son, it has not reached to him as well. It is supposed to reach, right, through tradition, through generations, but it has not reached. It has totally lost its essence. So Sri Krishna ji is giving the teachings again. Okay, Siddhant.
Yes, ma'am. So here, Lord Shri Krishna is telling that. So before he told the sun god Vibhasan, uh, he has told it down to the first man on earth, Manu, and then so on. So throughout time and after generation, the story has been spread and passed down. But over time, it is altered, and it's the story. Some of the Gita has been changed, and it's been lost. So, for example, if so, the example you took was a teacher explained something, and then one student tells the other student who's away the exact same story, but some parts he'll miss or some parts he'll add, whether it be right or wrong, it will still be altered. So then it will be so on and so on. It will go like a chain. So he'll pass it down to someone else, and it will keep on altering, and then the story will be lost. It will be completely different from what it originally was. So here Lord Shri Krishna is retelling it to Arjuna.
Thank you, Siddhant. Nalli ma'am.
When the teacher is telling something to the student, and again the student tells to someone, and then again that person tells to someone, so that way, if the knowledge is shared, so gradually it just gets lost and it gets changed. So for that reason, Krishna has come again and again. Krishna himself have spoken Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you so much. Rupashri ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. In the shloka, as in the previous shloka, they have told that Bhagavad Gita was first told to the sun god. It had to be communicated to Arjuna, but it has not been done because earlier it was like orally communicated, and the actual message through communication from one person to the other is not gone in the right way, and the actual message of the Gita is not communicated correctly, and the people do not know it the right way it is meant to be. So because of that, Lord Shri Krishna is telling that now he has taken birth and now he is reciting the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and now after this it is like written in scriptures, and it is maintained by Vedyasji.
Thank you so much. Usha Baji.
Here, Lord Krishna is saying, while explaining Gitas to Viswan and everybody, it's generation by letter generation, it's lost because the essence of Gita is not there. The real meaning, what he wants to tell everybody, by mouth to mouth, is it is changed and it is lost. So he is explaining again to Sri Arjuna, and here it is written also by Vedvyasji so that it won't be lost, and he is telling right way what is to go to do the human beings to do the right path, how to choose the right path by remembering him a lot, like that he has saying that again that you should not lose your path.
Thank you so much.